Okay, this is my interview project by myself, Melissa Dahm. I had the pleasure of interviewing Dina Larson, who was diagnosed with degenerative disc disease, with scar tissue and arthritis. Dina is currently 44 years old. She was diagnosed at the age of 31. Back in 2005, she suffered a severe injury that caused pain and limitations that only progressively got worse and caused her to seek out help from a doctor, which in turn got her to her diagnosis. Here I've attached a picture where 1, 2, 3, 4 down you can see degenerative disc disease in comparison to maybe some other things that you've heard or that are like more normal. This new life that would become Dina's new normal had her feeling tired physically, mentally worn out. It caused a serious depression that even led to suicidal thoughts, which unfortunately is not uncommon. According to Burdenreicher, our book states that pain and depression can magnify each other, and symptoms of depression are associated with poor health and increased disability. Dina was also in constant 24/7 pain. Thankfully, Dina has a support system in place. Her husband and eldest son live with her full time and are there to support her and help her with everyday tasks that she might not be able to complete alone. She also has her aunt for some emotional support who she can call at any time. Dina does not feel as though she's always been treated respectfully by the medical establishment. She feels as though sometimes doctors don't believe the amount of pain she's in, or they even think that she's crazy or a liar. Waschelitz and colleagues state that women are more likely to report their pain and they are more likely to be seen as over exaggerating by health professionals. Villingen and colleagues state that women have a higher occurrence and a higher severity of musculoskeletal pain and back pain in general. So, my question then is, why are women made to feel like they are crazy for having these real issues that are proven time and time again to be so widespread? Dina keeps hitting one obstacle after another, feeling as though it is a never ending cycle. She feels as though she hasn't accomplished any of her obstacles, but tries to stay as positive as possible and listen to what her body is trying to tell her. One obstacle that she encounters is not being able to find the proper medication that works for her. Also, in our book, noted that most of the medicine we have only takes into consideration men because we have, as a society, just made an assumption that studies on men were generalizable to women. We now know that this is absurd, and most of the medicine yet stays the same. Unfortunately, this day and age we live in, people are so quick to judge a situation in which they have no actual insight into. Dana is constantly looked down upon because of her health issue. She states that she feels as though she is perceived differently constantly, and that's one of her biggest issues. No one truly understands what she goes through, and people think that she uses her back as an excuse. People think that she is too young to have these issues, so she must be lying. Dina doesn't feel as though she's treated differently due to anything in particular when it comes to medical professionals, such as race, ethnicity, gender, status, income, or age. However, after taking this course, personally, I believe that her being a woman might actually have had an impact on the issues she's had. In her ideal world, with her condition, women with her condition would be treated with lots of patience and respect. The doctors would get to the root of the cause and they would be able to correct it without doing a whole bunch of unnecessary testing that leads absolutely nowhere. In conclusion, from both the interview and the research I did, I think that it is so heartbreaking that it is proven that women experience more pain and higher severity of pain, but yet they are criticized more for expressing it and trying to seek help from the people who we pay to try to fix us. I think that there needs to be a lot more compassion, patience, and understanding. There is no need to get someone who is already broken physically and mentally even more frustrated. The doctors are supposed to be healers. They're supposed to lift a weight from our shoulders and we should be able to trust them. I would love to find some sort of women's program that I can volunteer at, some sort of help group to try to lift any sort of weight off of the women who are struggling.